Hello and welcome to VTC's tutorial Photoshop Image Restoration. My name is Phil Hawkins and I've been a landscape photographer in Yosemite National Park for 22 years. And I've been using Photoshop to manipulate my images for 7 years. Now this tutorial will not focus on a particular Photoshop version, as all of the concepts of image restoration will be applicable to most versions back to version 5. But where there are specific tools available on later versions, those will be noted. Also, this tutorial will assume that you know nothing about Photoshop and you want to learn about the program and the concepts of image restoration and manipulation in general. Now, we will not be teaching you the tools one by one and then leaving you to figure out how to put them into practice yourself. Instead, we will teach you how to take corrective or restorative measures, and the lessons about the various powerful tools in Photoshop will come as a means to an end, which is always, in my opinion, a better way to learn. You'll understand what the tools are and how they work better by pursuing specific projects. Now, we will also explain the concepts of image color, film grain, tonal range, color saturation, cropping, and many other concepts about photography that you will need to know in order to fully understand image restoration. We will discuss scanning concepts in detail. You will have a complete working knowledge about scanning images when you complete this tutorial. Now, we will restore old photographs, color correct photos, and many other processes that will make you a photo restoration wizard. Now, my instructions and advice in this tutorial are based on my own personal experiences with Photoshop, and some of what I say will fly in the face of what the manuals and the conventional wisdom might recommend. Photoshop, in case you are new to the program, is the world standard in image manipulation and graphics production. It's a professional, extremely comprehensive application that has become an industry in and of itself. There are Photoshop websites, conventions, and training seminars. Companies exist that do nothing but develop Photoshop add-ons that enhance and expand the program's creative scope. No one knows everything there is to know about Photoshop. It's just too large and comprehensive. Even the developers at Adobe will tell you that they themselves do not know everything the program can do. Indeed, I will teach you things in this tutorial that you will then take, experiment with, and then develop your own way of accomplishing the results you desire. And that's great, because there is no one way to do anything in Photoshop. Whatever works for you is as legitimate as anything you can learn in a manual, even here in this course, and maybe some of the others that VTC offers on Photoshop. Now, I use a PC with the Windows XP operating system, so my keyboard instructions will be referenced in that format. If you're on a Mac, please note the following difference throughout this tutorial. When I speak of the Control key or CTRL key on the keyboard, you will look for the Command key on the Mac. So now, open Photoshop. And by the way, feel free to pause this tutorial to try what you learned for yourself. Now, lastly, a word of caution. Doing photo restoration in Photoshop is an addicting pursuit. Many a time I have been absorbed in a project and suddenly it's 2 a.m. and I'm thinking time flies when you're having fun. And I'll bet the same thing will happen to you. Ready? Well, that's great. Here we go.